Hello, everyone. My name is M.Putaala. I'm the Director of Business Development here at MEG. We're leading a company that supplies magnetoencephalography or MEG technology globally. So I'm going to be talking today about our way of dissemination of various technologies, creating products for our MEG platform. So I'm going to talk a little bit about myself, my background, so you all understand where I come from, and then I'll explain a little bit about MEG, what we are, what we represent, and then we go right to the MEG partnership development process and model, which I believe is very, very relevant to you as an audience moving forward. And I'll be using our partnership with Pesa, a software company that we've partnered a few years ago as an example of how we go about bringing new products to the market. So, as I said, I'm the Director of Business Development at MEG, and I've been personally involved in medical devices since 1995 in various roles, including product development, product management, leadership and strategy development. And the technologies that I've been involved with have included image-guided neurosurgery, early on in my career, functional neurosurgery, radiosurgery, so a lot of treatment devices. But last but not least, magnetoencephalography, MEG, which is a diagnostic technology. So MEG, as a company, was founded in 1989. So we've been in existence for over 30 years now. Yeah, and I believe we are the only MEG company around that has been operating continuously since the early 1990s. There are other companies that produce MEG devices, but we have the longest continuous existence and experience. Therefore, MEG was founded as a spin-off of Helsinki University Technology, the home of our core MEG technology, the squid sensors and the technology surrounding those sensors are all from Helsinki here in Finland. We delivered the first commercial MEG device in 1994. Yeah, and since then we've produced and delivered well over 100 MEG systems globally. Yeah, and have about 95 systems, I believe, today in our install base. So we have a fairly substantial install base and base of customers out there. Yeah, and you understand why that is important when I start talking about our way of making products a little bit later. We have about 50 people in our organization today, many of which are involved in product development, in servicing our MEG systems. Many are based here in Helsinki, Finland, but we also have a base in Japan. We have a base in the United States and a couple of people also in the United Kingdom. So we have a long track record of bringing new products to the market. Our approach has always been evolutionary when it comes to the MEG device. As I mentioned, we delivered the first commercial device in 1994, but the first installation took place in 1991 here in Helsinki, Finland. And that device was sort of the base of subsequent development. The better generations of MEG devices that we have brought to the market have sort of evolved from that initial device, including the vector view system, which was commercialized or brought to the market in 1999. It was an expansion from the first commercial device. We further improved that by our triac system in 2011 and further improved in 2018 by our triax Neo. And all of these have addressed some of the core issues, improved core areas of performance of the device, including sensitivity, robustness of the device, usability, Yeah, and obviously software. So that's sort of, in a nutshell, the sort of evolution of our device. Later, we've been focusing more on software, not so much on the hardware, which we tend to replace every 7 or so years, as you see, by a new generation. But right now, our focus is on software, which I'll be talking about next. So the MEG partnership development model involves obviously ourselves, but equally importantly, our customers, our research partners, and our development partners. Each of these parties brings a sort of different set of experience, competence to the mix. Our customers, crucially important, they provide us with design input, guidance on what the product needs to be, how we need to do it. They also help us validate the products, and they definitely hold the experience that we need to understand, how our users use and want to use the product. So this is a critically important partner in our development model. Also important, research partners. They provide us with the technology, with clinical data, with validation data, obviously experience and so forth. But these are the most important things that our research partners bring to the mix. Yeah, now considering the BRAIN initiative, you might want to consider parties involved in the BRAIN initiative as our research partners. And I believe there are plenty of technology, plenty of data that could be commercially exploited on our platform. Development partners, they are commercial parties, provide us with engineering capabilities, technology, manpower, experience, obviously, and also development platforms. That could be software platform or hardware platform that we incorporate in our product. We ourselves obviously hold core technology, the MEG technology ourselves. We have engineering capability. We have a medical device quality management system. We have obviously ways to certain regulatory compliance. And we have a program management capability, and not to mention or not to forget access to the market. This is our product creation process, which is a conventional stage gate process that you see in a lot of medical devices or device companies. And we have built our process on many, many years of experience from various invasive treatment devices, as well as our non-invasive MEG device. We apply this process to all products, whether hardware and software. The process ascertains compliance with the key regulations, including FDA's quality system regulation, which is the law to us medical device manufacturers. Our process obviously complies also with the European medical devices directive and some other regulations in countries where we operate. The process also ascertains compliance with international recognized medical device standards, including the ISO 13495, the medical device quality system regulation requirement standard, and the IEC 60601 safety and performance standard that will apply to all medical devices. The process has a very strong end-to-end safety management philosophy, very certain that the product from early on to release and obviously even after release to deployment to field is safe to use both to operators as well as to patients. Yeah, and that's something that differentiates us from non-medical device manufacturers. The safety philosophy, safety management is an integral part of the regulations and an integral part of the process of a medical device manufacturer. The process is built in a philosophy that when you move forward from the first phase, we call that exploration, through definition to realization, you continually de-risk the process. You early on address some of the key high-risk items, including new technologies, product concepts that are new to the market, and so forth. So we work on de-risking the product and the project throughout the process, and increase the commitment to releasing the product throughout this development cycle. And this is also something you see a lot of times in medical device companies and processes as a philosophy. They have been quite happy to have this type of process and have been able to, early in the exploration phase, already address some of the very high risky elements of our projects, and the remaining part of the process has been fairly easy. Then, therefore, thereafter, as I mentioned, we apply the same process to both hardware and software projects. We've adapted the process to work with a more modern software development philosophy, agile in our case. About the partnership between MEG and PESA, we started a strategic development partnership with PESA, a German manufacturer of software for MEG and EG, in 2017 to create a new software platform for our MEG systems. PESA had, since 1990s, made software research software for MEG and EG, but they had never done anything of the nature that we needed for our product, which is a clinical workflow-oriented software. So we teamed up and have since been creating a product we call MEG Review, just a comprehensive clinical analysis solution for our devices. The design goals of MEG Review were few. It needed to be user-friendly, needed to have modern user interface, a set of clinical workflows, task-oriented workflows. We needed efficiency, robustness, and easy extensibility. We need to be able to add new workflows, new algorithms on this platform as we move forward. So we applied our partnership model, involved PESA as our development partner, our customers to provide us with guidance, as I outlined earlier. We also have some research partners involved in this, and we ourselves, obviously. The end result is a MEG product created together with these partners in our network. The product is not ready yet. We are about to start validation of that, but we've applied our model from the very beginning of this initiative by interviewing our customers early on, by involving them in collecting feedback on our prototypes as we moved along. And we continue with them now to validate the product. And then eventually our customers will be helping us on training our new customers on using this product. So that's the MEG partnership model in practice right now. Here's a little illustration of where the various parties have been involved. I don't go into details of any of this. Yes, I think we've covered much of that already. The question is, could this be a platform for dissemination of brain initiative technologies? I believe the answer is yes. Thank you very much.